Eating blueberries and bananas together destroys their health benefits. Or does it? Stick around because today we're going to talk about plant-based food combinations. Which ones are like oil and water in your system, which unlock special benefits, and what are some of the biggest myths, and are any of them true? Greetings and welcome back to PB with Jay. Here on the channel, we focus on all things plant-based goodness. And today, we're doing a video that was inspired by one of your comments. One person responded to one of the videos where I'm just doing what I eat in a day, and I was putting blueberries and bananas together in my breakfast, and they just wrote a casual little comment that put me into a real tizzy. They said that eating blueberries and bananas diminished the health benefits of one of them. That seemed insane to me. They're both so good for you, so how could they be less good when you put them together? That math doesn't math, especially when you consider how often those things are paired together in like smoothies or desserts and whatnot. That said, I wanted to put that myth to the test along with a bunch of others. So in an effort to dig deeper into that, I came across some other whole food plant-based combinations that might not be so good for us, some that are really, really good, and others that, well, we'll talk about those at the end of the video, including the bananas and berries one, which I desperately do. I just don't want that to be true because I like them in my breakfast together. I just do. They go together like Bert and Ernie. But before we get into the content at hand, I'd like to say hello to some of you who said hello to us in the comments down below. Carolessa from Ackworth, Georgia. She wanted a shout out from Annie Bobanny, but Annie Banny Bobanny is away at camp right now. And it's taken me a while to get to your shout out, and that's not cool. So here it is. I'm Jeremy Bobermy. Laura from Green Valley, Arizona. Sherilyn from the Philippines. Lori from sunny Northern California. Susan from Coquitlam, BC, a suburb of Vancouver. Maida from Wesley Chapel, Florida. Kathy, who is watching from Metz, France, but now lives in Victoria, BC. So here's both. Jimmy from San Antonio, Claudia from Ubatu, Brazil, Diana from Normal, Illinois, Deborah from Salt Spring Island, Kim from Sequin, Texas, Moira from Scotland, and Mary Karen from Florida, as well as Nova Scotia. I'm gonna guess you're a snowbird. If you'd like a shout out here on their channel, there's a couple different ways you can get them. Mostly you just have to say hello in the comments down below, let us know who you are, where you're watching from, and tell us one of your favorite plant-based foods that you eat throughout the day to maximize your health. If you want to bump up on that shout out list, you can always join us over in the Mighty Network for that perk, along with many, many others, including being part of a like-minded community. All for the low price of a crappy cup of coffee a month. All right, let's talk about food pairings. I'm a bad news first kind of guy, so let's get into the food combos that might not be optimal for your nutrition. First up, let's talk about calcium and oxalates. Foods like spinach, beet greens, Swiss chard are packed with vitamins and minerals, but they're also packed with something called oxalates. What is an oxalate? Well, an oxalate is something that binds to the calcium inside of your gut. It forms insoluble compounds that your body cannot absorb. Think of them like the defense on the hockey team that wants to keep the calcium from getting into your net. I mean your gut. Your gut is your net. Okay? I know this is something that people like to go after plant-based eaters for, saying that oxalates are going to destroy your gut health. That's not true for most people, especially if you are eating a balanced diet. Just be mindful that if you're prone to things like kidney stones, high oxalate foods can contribute to stone formation when they are eaten in excess. So what does that mean when you combine them? That means if you are eating a spinach salad with a side of rhubarb and drinking a calcium fortified almond milk, you might not be getting the full amount of calcium from that meal. So just don't eat those foods in close proximity to each other. Now let's talk about high FODMAP foods. We talked about FODMAPs a while back when I did the fiber fueled cookbook, which I will link to down below. What are FODMAPs? FODMAPs are a group of fermentable carbohydrates that can cause digestive issues for some people. Woolly's one of them. So I have a personal experience with this. And by personal, I mean my wife, who I know as a person. Maybe not personal. I know someone that has it. So what foods are high in FODMAPs? Think things like beans, onions, garlic, broccoli. And if you combine these things in a single meal, think like a hearty bean and broccoli stew with lots of garlic and onions. That could potentially lead to bloating, gas, general discomfort, especially if you are sensitive to FODMAPs. And the reason they do this is because they ferment in your gut. The best way to avoid this is combine high FODMAP foods with low FODMAP foods. Those include things like zucchini, bell peppers, or carrots, which are nice and gentle on your digestive system. Another thing to consider is how different nutrients interact. We already talked about oxalates. So another food that is high in oxalates is like a sweet potato. And then you've got a potassium-rich food like a banana. So eating those things together could potentially affect the absorption of calcium and magnesium in the two different foods. The potassium here isn't really the issue. It's more the oxalates that can prevent the absorption of nutrients. Like I said before, all you have to do to avoid this issue is just spread out those foods throughout the day. Or pair them with foods that support mineral absorption, like leafy greens and other foods with low oxalate levels, like these ones. If you can think of any other food pairings that don't go together or don't go together for you, let me know down in the comments below, and perhaps I'll do a part 2 to this video to just bring people up to speed and whatnot. Or just read the comments to learn more. We have a very smart community in this community. All right, let's talk about the foods that do play well together. Are you ready to supercharge your plant-based meals? Let's dive into some fantastic food combinations to boost your nutrition and make your meals even better. First up, let's talk about vitamin C and iron. Iron is essential and is found in plant foods like spinach, tofu, and lentils. However, iron from plants isn't as easily absorbed as iron from animal products. But that's okay, because that's where vitamin C comes in. Vitamin C enhances the non-heme iron in plant foods. And for the people out there that are saying, well, this is just proof that we should just eat a carnivore diet. No, it's not, because scurvy.
Bring out today's one.
You need vitamin C. Sure, if you're having like a spinach salad or a lentil stew, make sure you have some vitamin C rich vegetables inside there like peppers. Or have some fruit on the side after, like citrus or strawberries. If you're eating that spinach salad, chop up the strawberries and have it with it. And if you're having that lentil soup, have the oranges as dessert. Yummy, yummy in your tummy. And good for your iron absorption. Now, what happens if we combine tomatoes and avocado? Tomatoes are packed with lycopene, which is an antioxidant that is good for your heart health and helps to fight inflammation. But lycopene is better absorbed when it's paired with healthy fats. Enter the avocado. The monounsaturated fats in avocado help your body to absorb more lycopene from tomatoes. Try adding some sliced avocado to your tomato salad. Or if you're having a tomato-based stew, like that's like our taco soup, put some avocado on top of it. Make a tomato and avocado salsa. It's a tasty way to get more out of your antioxidants. Now let's talk about mixing turmeric and black pepper. Turmeric contains curcumin, which is a powerful anti-inflammatory with antioxidant properties. But here's the catch. Curcumin is not easily absorbed in your body. But black pepper contains piperine. And what's super awesome about that is piperine bursts the absorption of curcumin by like 2,000%. That's a lot. So if you are making a dish with turmeric in it, like a curry or even like a golden milk latte, just crack a couple rips of black pepper into it. It's a really simple and easy way to make sure you're getting the maximum benefits out of your turmeric. Now, I know you're waiting for me to get to those myths, but allow me one moment to just talk about some more things that can help you to maximize your nutrient intake. I want you to keep 2 words in mind: balance and variety. Eating a diverse range of food is going to ensure that you are covering your nutritional bases. Aim to include a mix of nuts, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, seeds. For example, a well-rounded dinner might include a plate of quinoa, roasted vegetables, a side of bean, a healthy fatty sauce on top, and then a side of citrus for dessert. Here's another tip that I'm sure you've heard in many places: eat the rainbow. That literally just means eating a variety of different colors of fruits and vegetables, because those colors mean something. Different colors mean different nutrients. For example, berries are rich in antioxidants. Kiwis are high in vitamin C, and oranges offer both a good dose of vitamin C and fiber. And if you mix all those things together in a fruit salad or a smoothie, you're getting a broad range of nutrients that supports your overall health. Now let's talk about cooking methods. Cooking can affect the nutrient availability of your food. For example, cooking tomatoes actually boosts the bioavailability of lycopene. On the other hand, nutrients like vitamin C can be lost during cooking. I could go through the list of all the different ones that are better or worse for you, raw or cooked, but here's the thing: just eat a variety of cooked and raw fruits and vegetables and you're gonna be fine. And as we mentioned throughout this video, we should really be doing our best to combine our nutrient-rich foods in our meals. For example, adding nuts or seeds to things like oatmeal or salads not only add a really nice crunchy texture, but they also provide a really great amount of healthy fats and protein. Take your whole grain toast and top it with some avocado, sprinkle of chia or hemp seeds. This way you're boosting both the flavor and the nutritional profile of your meal. And most important, listen to your body. Every single person's nutritional needs are different. So pay attention to how what you're eating makes you feel and adjust as needed. If you are really unsure about your nutritional intake, I strongly suggest you meet with a nutritionist to go over your dietary needs based on your body. It might cost you a little bit of money, maybe it's covered under your health program, but what it's going to do is provide personalized guidance to help you meet your goals. I know you've been waiting patiently, so let's get into the myths about food pairings and see if any of them actually hold up. Myth number 1. Eating spinach with citrus fruits can decrease iron absorption. Some people believe that the vitamin C in citrus fruits might actually hinder the absorption of iron from spinach. Well, actually, as we already mentioned in this video, vitamin C enhances the absorption of non-heme iron. That's why when I'm making a smoothie, especially one that includes citrus, I love to throw some leafy greens in there like spinach or kale. It boosts your iron intake. Myth busted! Number 2, combining beans and rice must be eaten together to get a complete protein. No. While it is true that eating rice and beans together do create a complete protein, you actually don't need to eat them in the same meal. Your body is really amazing and it can store those amino acids to be used over time. So for example, if you have some rice at lunch and beans at dinner, they're gonna work together just nicely over the course of a day. Myth number 3, tomatoes should not be paired with plant-based calcium sources. Some people believe that combining tomatoes with calcium-rich plant foods like fortified plant milks or leafy greens might reduce the absorption of calcium. Yeah, there's no evidence that supports this. Tomatoes get to be a wonderful part of your balanced diet along with calcium-rich foods. Making tomato soup? Add a little bit of milk in there. And here's the thing that some people might come after me in the comments for. Yes, some of these foods, as we've mentioned throughout, can hinder the absorption of these other foods. It doesn't mean they destroy them entirely. So having it is better than not having it. So myth mostly busted. Number 4, eating nuts with whole grains decreases nutrient absorption. This myth suggests that nuts can interfere with the absorption of nutrients from whole grains. Nuts and whole grains are both nutritious and can be part of a well-balanced diet. Come on. Nuts provide healthy fats, protein, and minerals, and whole grain provides a lot of fiber and vitamins. Combining them, like having peanut butter on toast, actually increases your overall nutrient intake. Myth busted! And finally, do blueberries and bananas together decrease each other's nutritional benefits? This myth stems from the idea that certain foods can interfere with nutrient absorption, as we've discussed. Specifically, bananas have a high polyphenol oxidase, which is said to affect the content and bioavailability of flavonols in blueberries. Is it true? Maybe. However, it doesn't mean that eating them together is detrimental to your overall health. Blueberries are rich in flavonols and bananas have other nutritional benefits. Both are packed with nutrients and antioxidants. In fact, I would argue that eating them together gives you a really nice boost of vitamins and fiber. And like I said earlier in this video about one of the other pairings, is just because one of them might diminish the other a little bit doesn't mean you still aren't getting some of the benefits of it, which is better than nothing. You know what the real thing is that diminishes your nutrient intakes? Not eating a balanced diet and dying from one of the typical leading killers that most people in America and North America and many parts of the world die from these days. So look, there's been a lot of information in this video about foods that pair together well, some that don't as much, but the reality is eat a balanced diet. Listen to your own body and your own body's needs. Like I said, we're all a little bit different, so some things might affect us more than others. If you found this video interesting, hit that like button to let YouTube know to share this with other people, and obviously subscribe if you want more videos like this. And since you're still here, stick around because this is the video that YouTube knows you've been waiting for. It's somewhere in our library and you just didn't get to it yet, which is a silly thing, but here it is now. You're welcome.